All right, chat. We got some big news. Apparently, Marathon is stealing artwork. What? Bungie stealing artwork again? Damn. Well, I don't know. We're gonna find out if it's true or not. We're gonna find out if this is actually true. This is gonna be the most craziest thing to hear again. Let me remind you, if I remember this correctly, someone told me in the comments section that they stole artwork.
Someone sent me this. It's interesting. The Marathon Alpha released recently and its environments are covered with assets lifted from the poster designs I made in 2017. Bungie, of course, is not obligated to hire me when making a game that draws overwhelmingly from the same design language I have refined the last decade, but clearly my work was good enough to pillage for ideas and plaster all over their game without pay or attribution. Oh.
Hey.
I don't have the resources nor the energy to spare to pursue this legally, but I have lost count of the number of times a major company has deemed it easier to pay a designer to imitate or steal my work than to write me an email. In 10 years, I've never made a consistent income from this work, and I'm tired of designers from huge companies moonboarding and parasiting my designs while I struggle to make a living. So, hold on. Which one is his design? Is it the one here on the left? It's the yellow one here, right? It's hard for me to know, like, unless you've got like timestamps on when you created this. Link in the bottom left. Wait, hold on. Let's go take a look at this link. Yeah, this was posted September 28, 2017. So he's saying this was also posted 2017. This is one of the logos here. And he's saying that this logo inside of the game. Okay, yeah. See, so he's got these right here, these icons. God, dog.
Wait. Oh, shit! Oh my god, it is the same. It's the same. Ooh. 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 Oh man, dude. You want to see it? You want to see it here? I'm gonna zoom it in closer for you guys so you guys can see it. Look at this. Enhance. Enhance. You see this down here? You see this? You see this design right here? Look at that right there. Ooh. 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 Oh my goodness gracious me. Well. Well. Damn, this is pretty bad, dude. This is pretty bad. It's plain as detail right there. All right, down there.
Oh, there's no way this is in game. There's no way. This is so no. Go, hold on, guys. Dude, that's crazy. Hold on. Okay, so look at these. I need it. Here's the thing. I need to pull up footage because, like, y'all remember when Paul Tassi photoshopped and Hive runes inside of Destiny and baited us? There's ways you can make things look legit. Here's the thing. I don't know. I don't think this guy did it, but I just need to make sure. The point is, you could bait anyone. But this was a post put out 2017. So right here. So hold on. Posted September 28, 2017. Look at these icons.
They're literally the same icons. A lot of similarities.
All right. Literally my logo. Okay. Yeah. So he's saying literally his logo. Okay. And then this logo right here turned upside down. This one right here. 28. Yeah. Some more of his logo there. Then right here. Hold on. There's this image. Okay. So this was part of the ARG. Remember the ARG images that were being thrown out? Let me pull this up real quick. Yeah, look, this is the image right here that was posted. This was posted back in 2017 as well. And I know there's like some of you are like, what's the big deal? Well, anyone stealing anybody's shit is a big deal. Number two, it's an even bigger deal if you're a billion-dollar company.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I think it's a big deal. Now, this one right here, the style is the same. No, actually, there's a lot that's the same here. That's a lot the same here. You could definitely say some major inspiration was pulled from this guy. You could definitely see it. There's no way I cannot see it, guys. This one right here is more concerning to me because it seems like straight up copy pasta here on this. Like this strip right here This strip right here just seems straight up copied. It's concerning, man. It's concerning. And it doesn't bode well for the whole Red War campaign lawsuit, which I don't really know what's going to happen with all that. You know what I mean? That guy could be full of shit. We'll see. So, Cross, whose side are you on? The person who's in the right here's side is who side I'm on. You know, if somebody is the one who put in a lot of fucking work and that's their inspiration, they should be compensated for it. And look, Bungie's had this issue before in the past. Chad, who was the artist Bungie reached out to and got paid? There was an artist Bungie had to reach out to and pay. And look, here's the reality. I don't know who made these designs at Bungie. You know what I mean? Bungie could just remove it. The ARG though, they can't. That ARG is already out. So you could definitely say there was heavy inspiration from this. You could try to say no, you didn't get any inspiration from it. Maybe you could. In my opinion, pay the guy. That's my opinion. Reach out to him or give him a job. Obviously, if you actually did use his work, give him a job. No, I wouldn't say it's Joe Cross's fault. You know, I don't know. But I mean, like, you don't have just one artist. You got your artist and you got tons of people that work under them. I will say this. This is what I think. You could have all types of people on a team and there's a lot of pressure for you to stand out. And sometimes you're like, hey, you come across some shit that looks really, really good and you want to make a splash and there might be some copy pasta right there. You know what I mean? Oh, I'm not saying it's not theft. I'm not saying it's not wrong. Of course it's wrong. I'm just saying that I think that happens in a lot of places, like a lot of industries, dude. The pressure is on. People are trying to stand out and then eventually they'll resort to doing some crazy shit to do it. You know what I mean? I think the chevrons are a stretch. The other two are sus, if real. Yeah, the chevrons are. The double up though. And then like this right here. You know what I mean? There's no like bevel, no nothing. All right. So say that's a stretch. Okay. This one right here though. This one right here, where that's why this is the one that's gonna get you in trouble. This one right here. My graphic designers in here, my folks that are. This is your industry. You looking at the information you see here, plagiarism, clear cut to you guys, plagiarism, 100%, absolutely. Well, Bungie, better get ready to break out that wallet, man. You know, look, I got thumbnail artists too. Obviously, we're not pushing out $1 million games or anything like that. But to be honest with you, if someone approached us and said, hey, listen, your thumbnails are stealing and ripping all of my shit, all of your ideas are coming from me, two things would have to occur. One, we would have to compensate them in some way. And then two, we would have to let go of our thumbnail artists. There's just no other way. You know what I mean? There's just no other way. If he's stealing from that guy, who's to say he's not going to steal from another one? Look at the screenshots I got from Gordon's from the alpha. The design is in game. This is from the alpha. It's in game. Oh my God, it is. It's right there. Rep. Bungie, y'all better pay this guy. That's all I can say, man. To keep this from blowing up, I would get out ahead of this, immediately message the guy and make shit happen. You know what I mean? They haven't had the name that good. Wondering the graphic designer is a graphic designer at all. You can add this to a collection. Damn. Oh my God. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. This is Jesus Christ, dude.
Okay,
So
they weren't even trying, dude. They're not even trying to hide it right here.
Covering the plagiarizing stuff earlier, we went into, you know, looking at this as fairly as we possibly can. But this right here, guys, poster right here from Elaine, they haven't even hid the name that good. Wondering if the graphic designer is a graphic designer at all. You can add this to a collection. So you see the original picture here, right? You can literally see the words, and then right here, it's God dog it, dude. This is a disaster, fellas. I like, again, we went into this being like, look, let's be fair about this. And, you know,
dude.
maybe, you know, especially with all the stuff going on with the Red War campaign, Curse of Osiris, and that lawsuit, it can't be any more obvious. This is bad. Can I just say, guys, Marathon is a PR nightmare. I don't know. I mean, it's Bungie's thing that coincides with Destiny. And look, this is me not like, look, every now and then we doomsday post, right? Let's just be frank with you. We doomsday post. We mess around, right? This is bad. This is just really bad. I don't really know.
Told you this game is sent out to die. Oh man, dude. Ugh.
Like, cause this is the kind of thing. The game's not even out yet. Now you've got already the narrative is you got a game that's undercooked. Now you got a game that's not gonna that you know people are associating with Concord 2.0, whatever. But then it was like, but then Arc Raiders rolled out. So it's like, Arc Raiders was already a good looking game to begin with, made so even more when compared directly to Marathon. And so everybody's like, the dialogue here is there's no way Marathon's going to be able to compete against other extraction
It's
shooters,
just
not even
business.
the established ones, much less the new ones that are coming out. And then now you've got straight up copy pasta happening here. I mean, this is straight up plagiarism. There's no other way to talk about it. There's no other way to see it.
Damn.
So Joseph Cross right here, who is the franchise art director for Marathon. So lucky to have worked with Kurapa Hosk from close to the beginning of Marathon's visual development, identities, custom, topography, ARG, campaigns, and much more. So the guy from Sweden, we're a brand and design agency and we inspire progress. Oh my God. So did these guys steal the design? I think that's what's going on here. So this thing could have been outsourced to this Kurpa Hosk, because this is not the it's not the original account that posted this images. I know Joe Cross follows the artist too, yes, but this is Joe Cross back on May the 5th, so 10 days ago, essentially shouting out this Kurpa Hosk. Does Bungie get caught having to pay or do the contract? Look, dude, I don't know. I don't know. This isn't the first time Bungie has been in this situation, and that's the messed up part about all of this. You know, Sweatsickle actually just put out a tweet on this. They stole the Ace of Spades Nerf gun art before and played stupid. They've done it again and will continue to do it unless there's actual legal ramifications from this disgusting behavior from corporate Bungie. Here's the thing, man. This has got to be stopped. This one, I mean, I can't remember the Ace of Spades Nerf gun thing, but was it
the Ace of Spades. Oh my God, I forgot about that actually.
like a direct one-to-one on that one too? They actually did they end up paying that guy? Oh yeah, this was the Ace of Spades thing. Hey Bungie help Destiny the game. So the Nerf Ace of Spades directly lifts a commission I did in 2015. This is not similar or a coincidence. You can see my same brush strokes and scratch smudges. Oh.
I forgot about this. Oh my God, dude. I completely forgot about this.
Oh, yeah, dude, this was... So if I remember this correctly, yeah, Tofu Bunny. This was the Ace of Spades situation here. Mine. Okay. And you see the brush strokes. Literally the logos
Thank you for the
here.
gifted or so.
There's some changes here and there. Yeah. If I remember correctly, they did end up paying this artist. But yeah, it's rough, man. So right here, even Tofu says, I don't blame Bungie, TBH. This is contracted people lifting some obscure work I did in 2015. But yeah, feels like a punch to the gut. I've been playing this game for a decade, and this just sucks. They're going to throw Kurpla hosts under the bus. I don't know, man. I don't know where the designs came from. Here's what I do know. This in square, this person right here, this individual, that was their stuff. All their images right here that they posted, the original images, were images that dated back to 2017, guys. I don't know how Sony feels about this.
Take care, Brooklyn.
It's not
Be
a good
safe,
look.
hun.
It's
Thank you for
definitely
coming by as always, hun.
not a
Be
look
safe,
you want
be safe.
from your studio that you spent $3.6 billion for. You know what I mean? You want to see original works. And these images right here dating back to 2017, this individual, this is their work, 1000%. And they need to be compensated. I don't even know. Like, I don't know how much has been paid to the other guy that Joe Cross was given credits to. But brother, yoink that, divert that. There's nothing wrong with getting inspired by creative arts, but you always got to take care of those artists and reward them somehow. Dude, this is not inspiration here, guys. This is copy pasting this shit. Like, look, I'm with you guys on like a lot of things. And like, I could be like, well, you know, look at this. The text is still here. It's still here. Control C, Control V. The numbers, 2017, this was out. Dude, and like, hold up. Like, why even copy and paste this? What does this have anything to do with anything? Like, hold on. Like, you just suddenly were just like, damn. I mean, this is like a last minute project kind of thing. You're like, I got nothing to put on this map. I'm just gonna put this shit here. You know what I mean? Like, what? This is not inspiration. This is like, this is the meme of, yeah, you can copy a homer and just, you know, you make it a little different. This is just straight up. Just, there's no other way to put it. And if it is, you know, whoever the case is, it really doesn't matter. It's Bungie now. It's their mess. And it's a terrible, terrible look for Marathon. Because this is going to be the conversation. This is going to be the main topic at hand all the way leading up to Marathon. First, it was, is Marathon capable? Can Bungie make a good game? Can they make an extraction shooter? Then it would divert it from that to, nah, man, it ain't going to be good. It's going to be dead on arrival. And now it's dead on arrival and they still aren't. Oh my God, dude.
Bro, at this point, just use AI art, man. I'm like, if you don't have enough time to like make a design or something, just Just use AI art. At least, you know, you'll get backlash, but you won't be stealing people. I'm just saying.
Somebody's got to do like, who catches this, guys? Someone at companies have to catch this kind of shit, right? Like, hold on. Like, could you not reverse image search? I know you can't reverse image search everything, but could you not reverse image search some stuff and see what it pulls up? You reverse image search this, and then it pulls up this from fucking 7 years ago, 8 years ago. Hot damn. Is this worse than the Concord? The thing is, it's like, thank God pre-orders aren't available because people be refunding right now. It's not a good look. And the sooner Bungie gets out ahead of this and approaches the right people, this being this person right here, I would just give them a job. I would just be like, hey, listen, and you know, get with the, if they got the outsource artwork from the company out of Sweden, be like, look, where did your images come from? You know what I mean? Get to the bottom of that. Straight up terminate them. And literally, and at this point, it's like, how much can this person even do for Marathon? Compensate them. Then compensate them what you compensated the other person. I just realized Bungie took inspiration from my piece for this week's cutscene. Certainly took me by surprise when I watched the cutscene. Oh my God.
Oh shit, it just keeps going. It just keeps going.
God, this was back at 2023. Jesus Christ. You know, here's the thing. I just don't walk around with this kind of information on me at all times. I don't come equipped. It's at 20,000 likes. I don't come equipped with this kind of stuff. I forget about this. I forget about it. This is a problem though. There's no solution to except to blow up legally and financially the companies that rip from artists and sell to game studios, make it a death sentence to do things like this. Yeah. But I will say this is all around a bad look. You got the Ace of Spades Nerf gun. I think there was some other stuff. You got this issue with Marathon, and then, and I still think it's a stretch, but you got the plagiarism issue with Curse of Osiris and Red War campaign. There's an entire lawsuit going on right now with an author that went by the name Casper Cole of Louisiana, of all places, saying that his story was stolen to make the Red War and Curse of Osiris campaigns. Here's the thing. I'm not a lawyer, but they're in the process of discovery right now. Can Casper Cole, could they bring this information in to discovery? Will it have anything to do with his case? Could they use it? All right. Well, that's that, guys. What was, you know, kind of on the fence of being bad has just dipped into pretty bad. Pretty bad. Not a good look. Doesn't look good. We'll see what shakes out with all this.
Slap that like button.
It's dead, chat. Marathon is dead. Marathon can never recover from this, dude. Straight up. There is no way they can recover from this. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. That's it, chat. That's the end of Marathon. End of service. End of service within like 1 week for Marathon. Oh, my Lord. Oh. I knew something was weird about this game. I knew it. I had a weird gaming sense. Anyways, that's the end of the video. You guys can comment, like, subscribe, do all that fancy jazzy stuff. And yeah. Nah, more like Bungie is dead. Sony is gonna drop them like Firewatch. You think so? You think that's what they're gonna do? Sheesh. If that actually happens, that would be the most craziest breakup to hear in the gaming scene. Damn. Damn, dude. Damn, Daniel. Anyways, yeah. You start copying, you know, actual small artists. Or graphics designers, anyways. And, yeah. Anyways. Shit, man. That's the end of the video. Honestly, crazy thing. Crazy, crazy, crazy. And yeah. I feel like this is also what they'd want. You think so? You think they did this on purpose or so? So that they can, like, you know, so that this game can, like, die or so? Or wanting to break up with Sony? Who knows? Who knows at this point? All speculation right now at the moment, but shit, man. That's crazy. Anyways, that's the end of the video. And, peace.
But wait!
Chat. So apparently Bungie responded to the allegations. We're gonna see what they've responded. So this has happened in the past 12 hours, okay? This has been 12 hours since we reacted to the last video. So we're gonna see what they said about the matter of the copyright, you know.
Let's start from the top, bro.
All right, let's see. Oh, I'm so excited. I can't wait to see this.
Quick, shall we?
Thank you for the follow.
This
Welcome.
situation keeps getting crazier and crazier.
Okay.
Essentially, yesterday, it was brought to our attention that an artist had a lot of their art stolen to create many assets within Marathon. And not just things within Marathon, but including the ARG. Inspiration's not even the word. It was a straight up copy pasta. Someone took that shit, plugged it as their own shit, and you can't deny the fact that Auntie Real's art, her art, was in some ways the core identity for what Marathon.
I see. So this is the original one on the left. That's Marathon on the right.
Marathon is, especially for the ARG. So this is from the Marathon dev team. This was posted last night, 11:21 p.m. We immediately investigated concern regarding unauthorized use of artist decals in Marathon and confirmed that a former Bungie artist included these in a texture sheet that was ultimately used in game. This is
there it is. There it is. Somebody on the inside in Bungie copied it right there. It's right there. Bungie artists included these in a texture sheet that was ultimately used in the game. A former Bungie artist, quotation marks, former.
issue was unknown by our existing art team, and we are still reviewing how this oversight occurred. We take matters like this very seriously. We have reached out to Auntie Real to discuss this issue and are committed to do right by the artists. As a matter of policy, we do not use the work of artists without their permission. To prevent similar issues in the future, we are conducting a thorough review of our in-game assets.
We made a video on that one for the Bungie one.
Specifically those done by the former Bungie artists, and implementing stricter checks to document all artists' contributions. We value the creativity and dedication of all artists who contribute to our games, and we are committed to doing right by them. Thank you for bringing this to our attention. Yesterday, we left after we originally covered this, thinking that maybe it was a third party. To be quite honest with you, from a PR stance, it would.
What are you talking about? It hasn't even been that. It hasn't been even that long. What are you talking about?
It was someone directly working at Bungie. So Lucky brings up a great point right here. What about the current Marathon employees and art team that literally follow the artists on this app? Your whole art team follows the artist
Master, it hasn't even been that long. What are you talking about? I think you've gone delusional now at this point. It hasn't even been that long since I've been live.
It's been developing this art style for 10 plus years, and you didn't think to give them any attribution. This isn't an oopsie you can blame on a former employee. Your current employees follow the small artist with a niche style, and then you just coincidentally happen to launch an entire game themed after it, not buying it. Yes, many of the Marathon developers follow this artist. Guys, this
Wait, they do? No, I did not start it 5 hours ago. You can literally see how long I've started. It's only been like 2 hours. 2 hours and 48 minutes I've been live. What are you talking about? I have not been live 5 hours. You're crazy.
Like art that was posted last year. You know what I mean? This was art that was posted in 2017. Before Marathon was even announced. You know, before Marathon was even in development. It'd be one thing, it was like, oh, I came across these images.
You're stupid, I swear.
Just randomly when surfing
this guy
and came across this. But you're following the person directly, dude.
That's crazy.
So anyways, we got that, right? And then Auntie Real has now replied, completely overwhelmed by the response to this. Thank you so much for the support, and especially to those who have donated. It helps enormously. So again, this is her art. Can you imagine? I just want to just back up real quick, because look, some people were commenting yesterday when we were first covering this and was like, why does this even matter? And it's like, all right, I'm not an artistic person.
That's pretty stupid for people who say what doesn't matter It makes no sense. I'm like, that's such an idiotic response for you to say, literally, to say like, oh, who cares? Bruh.
I can't draw worth the shit. You know what I mean? I think the most thing I've ever done is I drew SpongeBob. That's the most artistic. Had I committed myself to the craft, and this became my life, all right? And so much so that it's my career. If suddenly I see my shit getting plastered on a from a multi-billion-dollar company for a new IP, and it is literally identical, I can't even imagine how I would be pissed. I'm actually amazed it took Anti-Real until yesterday to say something. Like for real. Like I would be screaming immediately after the damn trailer. Let me just say this. I want to say there's a distinct difference between the teams here, but the Marathon team, they have stepped in a pile of shit, man. I could never even envision how big the pile could have been. The potential of this pile of shit, but it is the largest pile of shit.
Yeah, right.
The only
this
other
guy.
thing that could possibly happen that would be worse than this is like the Marathon story was stolen too, you know, or some shit like that. You know what I mean? All right, hold on. Let me pull up this article. Bungie stealing Marathon artist, probably the last straw, by Paul Tassi right here. This article was posted this morning, actually just a few minutes ago. Marathon developer Bungie has been accused of and has now admitted to stealing artwork used in the current build of Marathon from an artist who first published the work in 2017. That artist is Anti-Real, who posted several comparisons of her work and existing Bungie Marathon assets, which go far beyond inspiration and often are directed one-to-one lifts of images, words, symbols, and even Anti-Real's own personal logo. Guys, do you understand what's being said here? The copying was so blatant that the artist who copied it forgot to remove the logo.
That's crazy.
Amateur hour. Shit, I'm not saying I would be good at stealing stuff, but Jesus, you can't even scrub the damn logo? Bungie's, of course.
Yeah, what's worse, like, I'll be honest with you, like, this is, I'm gonna put this in an example, right? AI is pretty bad or so, right? Well, the people who are using the AI machines because they take artists and study it, but having a multi-billion-dollar company steal your stuff, your ideas, you know, for their game is probably far worse, because you want to know something? They have money. They have all the monies to pay for you to do, you know, stuff for them, but instead they decided to either some artist decided to steal from you and put it in their game without your acknowledgement, you know?
Not obligated to hire me when making a game that draws overwhelmingly from the same design language I have refined for the last decade, but clearly my work was good enough to pillage for ideas and plaster all over the game without pay or attribution. Within a matter of hours, as this began to spread virally, Bungie issued a statement saying it was a former Bungie artist who included the details in a texture sheet that ultimately went into the game. The issue was supposedly unknown by the existing art team, but obviously many questions have been raised about all of this as Bungie continues to investigate. There's no disrupting the asset rips. They are one-to-one in many cases that are clear to see. The result of that, if Bungie will simply cut the artist a check and credit them, is unclear. It's possible that legal action...
No, they didn't delay it. It was supposed to. It's coming out, but half-baked. Not even a full-fledged game. Just kind of like it's been sitting in the car type of bake, you know, in Arizona during the summertime.
Could be pursued here, but the artists did not seem to think they had the resources to mount the campaign. That could change, given the attention that the story has now gotten. I mean, look, as much inspiration is being drawn here, needs a permanent job, at least, and a check. However, there are now larger questions being raised about Anti-Real and Marathon's overall aesthetic. Looking at the image gallery of their work, the design language the artist mentions could easily be early concepts.
Yeah. So apparently their fourth map or so, because we looked into it specifically on this Marathon thing, because they said that this fourth map is supposed to be the most revolutionary thing, right? That's like basically their tag slogan or so for them selling you the game, right? That this is the most revolutionary thing ever, is this fourth map where they have this like kind of like a raid PvE type of thing or something, where you can get like better loot or something. I don't really know what the fuck they're trying to do, but your good as guess is mine.
are for Marathon Designs if you didn't know any better, from the images themselves to even the cool color palette. It is true that this artist did not invent an entire genre of art, but even across well-known cyberpunk influences in media, I've yet to see anything that's close to the gap between this work and Marathon. And obviously there were directly pieces lifted straight from it. So Bungie had its eye on it in some capacity. They're following her. They were following her. An additional wrinkle is that it's been discovered several Bungie employees have been following the account, including Game's current art director who followed her for years, she said, without any communication from him or anyone else at Bungie. Her work went up in 2017. By most accounts, Marathon started development around 2018 in some capacity.
If I remember correctly, this person used to make a lot of Destiny. He used to make a lot of Destiny content, I think. If I remember correctly, let me hold on, don't quote on me on it. Let me check real quick. Yeah. Yeah, they used to make a lot of Destiny content. Yeah.
Taking a vibe as opposed to exact pieces is harder, if not impossible to prove. But in this case, perception is.
Oh, he has a kid now? He's a dad? Damn.
Marathon, among many criticisms, always at least had its unique art style and aesthetic as a bright spot.
What are you talking about? Marathon was in the video game show. It was in some game show.
That's Paul.
What do you mean?
What a great point, dude. I will say some things look unrendered, but the unique art style and aesthetic in terms of like character design and like the art style they're trying to go for in that direction. I think the character designs themselves, I'm pretty sure those are Joe Cross's, his designs, right?
Yeah, they announced this game a while ago. That's why. I think it was like last year. I think it was last year or the year before that one. I don't remember.
Just like the ARG especially looks so similar.
It might be last year actually.
Images. And that was front and center for everybody for multiple weeks for us to look at. Now it's going to be impossible to bring it up in the future without the plagiarism being referenced. And even if it's just a handful of assets that were ripped, it would be very hard to get around the theory that a lot of the initial conceptual aesthetic was directly from this one artist. I believe it is too early to start naming and blaming specific individuals within Bungie, but the studio will need to do an intense investigation into this and come out with a lengthy explanation in addition to the terms they've come to with the artist publicly. And they may promise this will not happen in the future, but it has now happened 4 times in the past 4 years.
4 times?
With Destiny fan art that was lifted in some capacity for the game or in merchandise. That was the third-party contractors, however, and this is Bungie in-house. That's what makes this a bigger...
Wait, they've done it 4 times? What were the other 2 times? I don't remember the other 2 times.
Deal, guys. The previous deaths was third parties. This was in-house. This is somebody on the payroll, man, working for you direct, working in, you see where I'm coming from? That's why this is a bigger deal.
Oh shit, dude. I thought it was third party, but it's not. It actually happened in-house. Damn, so that means one of their artists is not even an actual artist. They were lying the entire time. Damn.
This is a bigger deal than Ace of Spades. I've had serious doubts about Marathon's ultimate viability in the PvP extraction shooter market for a while now.
Oh my lord.
An overwhelming closed alpha a few weeks back. But the clues, the one point of pride about how cool the design, work, and aesthetic is, and this perception.
Oh, he does? Oh, that's cool.
It feels almost back-breaking. It is certainly true that there are dozens, if not hundreds, of artists who have worked on Marathon and have nothing to do with this at all, producing their own original work, but the well is now poisoned. Marathon is supposed to have a ride-along alpha feedback session with game director Joe Ziegler today, which was already moved once, and it's a little hard to imagine that's not going to be overwhelmed by this story. And I can only imagine that chat will be like, so we'll see if it's moved again. Yeah, we're going to be watching that later today, guys. It will be Joe Ziegler. It will be some of the Marathon devs, and we'll be watching that and talking about some things. And I know the focus, it was supposed to be last Friday. I know the focus was supposed to be on just gameplay, but I'm almost certain, dude, that chat is going to be full of people. It may be in emote mode. Dude, I feel bad for Joe what he's about to walk into. Dude, because Joe, this guy is just, I tell you right now, Joe's just, his Valorant background, he's just gaming. He's just constantly just like refining systems, trying to get the gameplay loop down. I highly doubt Joe was like, yeah, steal that art. This Joe, you know, Joe Ziegler. Joe Cross is over art. Joe Ziegler is the game director. Not that this shouldn't have been caught. Obviously, it should have been caught, but he's about to walk in hellfire today, dude. And this is Anti-Real's portfolio. You know, some.
Whoa, these look cool. These are pretty cool. Pretty cool portfolios, actually. Kind of gives me a little bit of inspiration to do some background stuff for magazine covers. These look really cool. I like these.
Some of her artwork.
Hey, Pillow.
Can I just say this, guys? I think she has a very unique style, and I completely understand why people at Bungie follow her. I like her style so much. I think, you know, I was talking to Luke about it. We'll see if we can get in touch with her. We've done some like merch stuff in the past, but we don't really have like a true merch line. I would love to set something up with Anti-Real. I know she's got a lot of stuff on her plate right now, but dude, I think she would make some.
These are really
merch.
cool.
You know what I mean? We'll set it up where it's, you know, royalty to her and everything. So, and hopefully things pan out. But we'll continue to monitor this story all around. It's bad. It's terrible for Bungie. It's terrible for Marathon. And at this point, my question to you guys, do you delay Marathon? You're now looking at a PR nightmare. Do you delay it? 100% delay, reskin, take feedback from the alpha, and enhance the game. I would say this for Bungie, get out ahead of this as quickly as you can. Get in conversations with that artist. Get Anti-Real on your team. Bring her in.
True.
And cut her a check. And don't try to bury this shit, you know? This is one of those things where Bungie, remember last year when Bungie was like, we have a strike team. They were like, we have a strike team now for PvP. We take PvP very seriously. You need a strike team for quality control. You need a quality control strike team. You need a strike team just to sit there and sift through this shit to make sure this stuff doesn't happen.
I'd be curious what Sony thinks about this. If I don't know if Sony got word about it, but I'd be curious what their higher ups would be thinking about this nightmare right now, because they bought Bungie.
In the future, that's the next strike team. There needs to be quality control and just accountability across the board, man. And it needs to be like an independent strike
That's never
team
gonna
that operates
happen.
between both Marathon and Destiny. 100% Sony is not going to let you.
Because Sony America does not want you guys to have a Bloodborne remaster or a Bloodborne 2. Japan Sony wants it, but America Sony does not want you guys to have a Bloodborne remaster or a Bloodborne 2, basically. If you guys didn't know about it, now you know. It's Sony America. Because right now there's a civil war within the Sony company between Japan and Sony America. Sony Japan wants the Sony USA to die, basically.
Delay again? Yeah. Yeah, can you imagine being Sony in this situation? Like, they're waking up, they're like, what the hell's going on over there? We'll see what Joe has to say today. I'm going to be watching the stream. But again, this is a PR shithole.
I bet you it's because the only reason why that person got a cease and desist is because of the America side of Sony. Sony's just looking at y'all pay what you owe.
That should have never happened. But here we are, man. Here we are. I feel like the move that needs to happen is Sony dissolves Bungie, except a small team to maintain Destiny 2 and cancels Marathon. Here's the thing, guys. Y'all need to understand something. You guys keep saying Sony needs to dissolve Bungie. The purpose that Bungie spent, the purpose Sony spent all the money they spent is for Bungie's expertise in live service games. Okay, you get expertise, right? And talent retention. You guys, Sony doesn't have if they had all this other talent to replace the folks at Bungie with, they would have done it. Their other talent is working on other games.
Does he know that Sony already opened up a new studio? And I think if I remember correctly, that studio is working on a live service game, I think. If my recollection is correct, question mark?
They're already working on other shit. But they fired everyone? Sony didn't fire everyone. There were
Wait, the backlash didn't just hurt Bungie's reputation, it also hit the company's wallet hard. Reports surfaced that Destiny 2 missed Bungie's revenue target nearly 50% following a sharp decline in player numbers in the month after launch, which later contributed to a mass layoff affecting around 100 employees, including longtime developers.
delays and Bungie missed targets. I don't know. We don't have the contract in front of us, or contracts. But there's a certain level of profitability that Bungie is having to maintain right now. And I know it's tied to stocks being invested, and the biggest priority for the executives at Bungie is maintaining a certain level of profitability. The problem is you've lost incredible talent. Now, you've seen some of the people come back, but I think this really comes down to one singular issue. In my opinion, I think Bungie is leaderless. Look, I give Bethesda a lot of shit. I talk a lot of shit about Bethesda. Starfield, ass. But I got to give Todd credit. Todd, whether it's a dub or an L, he sits on stage, he gets the camera pointed at him. I got to give Todd credit, man. He gets up there and he takes it. And what I like is when I see leaders get on in front of us, in front of the community, in front of gamers, and take accountability for things, win or losses. And it tells me that there is a person there who is the face of this company, and it matters to them, and they are there to take the hits when it's necessary or when it needs to be. And they're also there to uplift their teams. So again, didn't like Starfield. I'm liking what Bethesda's doing, and I like that Todd rolls with the punches. Another development studio that has great leadership in Digital Extreme. It's the way DE does things, and Steve is in front, and he's like bouncing between team and team. That's what you want to see from a CEO. When was the last time any of us have seen Pete? Just pointing it out, man. I haven't seen Pete since 2017, 2018, maybe the launch of Destiny 2. Path of Exile developers, also fantastic about being right there in front of your face. They're the ones delivering the news to you, good or bad, even when they had delays, right there in front of you, delivering the news. And so leadership is incredibly important, man. And there's a level of accountability that goes with that, because when you're leaderless, you could sit on the outsides, on the outskirts, and pretend like, oh, but it wasn't me, man. I wasn't in charge. You know what I mean? I'm not in charge. But when you're the face of the studio and you're like, I'm leading this thing, I'm the guy, or I'm the woman, everything comes through me. You take the wins with the losses, and you gotta be the one held accountable. You can't just hide. And I feel like we're in a situation where I'm not talking about game directors. Joe Ziegler's in front of us. Tyson Green gets in front of us. Robbie gets in front of us. You can't just throw your game directors up there and expect them to take all the blows. You gotta have one singular leader that comes out there and holds the shit together. And I just don't feel like we get that right now with Bungie, and we haven't gotten that in a long time. My problem with some of these companies is like, unfortunately, we live in a world where the people that would make fantastic leaders don't end up being in leadership. So for instance, Tyson Green, I think he would do great being one of the head honchos, not just game director, but like potentially even CEO. You know what I mean? My thing is this,
dude. If we had like what's that one? Bar Rescue. If we had Bar Rescue, but like in a video game format, dude, I would totally watch it 100%, dude. I would so watch that TV show if they made like a Bar Rescue, but like in a video game, like, video game format, dude. Oh, dude, that'd be so great. That'd be awesome.
What hoops does Tyson, is that ever even a possibility for Tyson? Could that ever even be a possibility for him? Because you've got your board, you've got Pete that's been embedded in there, since 2016. You've got founders. There's so many politics, so many moving parts, man, that unfortunately the people that would make fantastic leaders, they may never see those positions ever. Pete is not the problem. He did not design the systems Destiny 2 released with. Pete also did not steal art from that dude. The problem is that Bungie is incompetent. Look. Let me just say this. When you're CEO, it's your job, okay? It's the same reason why CEOs across the board in every industry, man. It's called accountability, okay? It's like being captain of the ship, all right? You can't be blaming people. It falls on you. And by the way, man, The best CEOs are CEOs that wears multiple hats, man. You know what I mean? Like, and that's why I like Digital Extremes so much. All of those people that are in leadership at Digital Extremes, they all have worn multiple hats. When you can be both the game director, the writer, one person, game director, writer, voice actor. You see where I'm coming from on this, guys? You're not beholden to your...
Damn, I would totally love to do that. I would love to be a director, because I know how, I would direct a certain game to go to. Plus, I've done voice acting in the past, and I love writing stories, so, it would be fun. That'd be fun.
One fucking task. I don't know. I just feel like things are just too
Plus, I know how to draw too as well, so there is that.
Man, with how things work at Bungie internally. You need me to be able to step in and do whatever needs to be done. You need to know what's going on in every department if you're a leader. Yeah, you really do. And I don't really understand. Like, some of you guys, some people in here like suck off CEOs for some reason. That's not a CEO's job. Good CEOs are supposed to make you a lot of money and keep you from fucking lighting fires everywhere. Why is anyone even beholden to them? Who gives a shit? Good leadership is good leadership. Whether it's a CEO or a fucking, manager at some random franchise, it don't matter. Good leadership is just respected. Here's what I want from good leadership. Pay me well, keep us from going bankrupt. Respect my time, which goes into paying me well. That's pretty much it. Keep us from going bankrupt. Don't fucking make some stupid moves. Keep us profitable. Pay me well. CEOs should definitely get the blame. And normally, look, they do. In a lot of industries, they do, man. That's why they let go CEOs all the time. They change them out. And that's why other CEOs, it blows my mind with Pete, but that's why other CEOs remain CEOs for as long as they remain, because they do good. And normally they have it, like, their name carries a lot of weight. How is it the CEO's duty to face some shit that's been done by some random moron inside of the studio? Well, here's step one. Don't fire your quality control team and then sit there with a Pikachu face when quality falls off. There you go. Sure, the CEO probably could have done, is he the one checking this shit every day? No. But probably shouldn't have fired everybody in your fucking damn quality control team. Just saying. Do you think Bungie is guilty? When we say guilty of what? They've already acknowledged that yes, this art was ripped, but it was done by a previous artist at Bungie. We're guilty. Yes. Bungie themselves have admitted that yes, they are at fault. How they handle it, though, we'll have to just wait and see. I'm not saying that what they did was okay, but it seems they were forced to. The artist was forced to steal this art.
Shut up.
Brother, that's like the meme of the guy shooting the guy and going, "Why did you make me do that?" What? We can't drum through mental gymnastics here on this, guys. Man, dude, I tell you what, gamers, you fuckers. I already know it. We step off into some bullshit someday, y'all gonna roast my ass like crazy. The amount of people that will defend some shit, y'all fucking, the mental gymnastics that y'all go through, the mental defense here, man, is second to none. God damn it. Bring back to my point, guys. I just respect good leadership. That's it, man. It's the reason.
That's crazy. Honestly, that's pretty crazy to hear that. Oh, man. It was, dude. Well, case closed, chat. Case shut and closed. Someone from their fucking goddamn fucking art team. Oh, God. So basically, someone on their fucking art team, former Bungie dev, apparently, quotation marks, former anyways, copied from this guy, and then apparently a lot of artists from the Bungie team follows this person. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. True, he's former now. I don't know, man. Oh, well. It is what it is. Anyways. That's the end of the video. You guys can comment, like, subscribe, do all that fancy, jazzy stuff. Yeah. It was, it was kind of obvious that they copied. There's no way they can deny the allegations of this here, especially this here, This is kind of like, not really too crazy, but this and this, yeah, that means this is also part of this. It's just good business. Bungie it's good business. I guess so. I guess it's just good business, chat, man. Shit. Bungie can't seem to get away with the with the copyright, you know, allegation stuff, you know. They just like to copy other people. Shit. God Lord. Who knows, maybe one day someone will steal my artwork and then I'll be like, hey, you know, that's me. That's my artwork. Yeah, it's literally like, it's the dude that literally like, let me copy your homework, but change it just slightly a little bit different. Just a teeny bit, you know, let's just flip this upside down, you know. Let's just flip this in reverse. Let's flip the icons differently, you know, because these are all the same, but the icons are just kind of like flipped over, you know. But yeah. Anyways, that's it. Case closed, chat. We can finally rest in peace now. So, anyways, that's the end of the video. Then peace.